Greetings, family, greetings, and welcome to the Art of Rising. You already know this podcast is about rising the vibration, right? Rising the frequency, and giving you the codes that you may need in your daily life. So, as you already know, these series of videos are about the wellness that is happening on Sunday. It's pure wellness, right? In fact, how are you, Leah? I'm bringing on Leah, and I was thinking about the name. It's always like tongue tied right there. It's the Purely Holistic Soul Expo, right?
I know I have to be very intentional when I say it, like what comes first. But you got it right.
I know, Monique, she gonna get me. She gonna like, come on, brother. I can hear her now. Write it down.
I know, exactly. Just read from the
Okay,
prompt.
that's right. So, Leah, you are one of the vendors. You're providing a wonderful, tremendous service. I've learned some things about your bio. So, why don't you just introduce yourself? Tell us where you live and what you're doing with yourself these days.
Yes. So I live in Brooklyn and I am a holistic wellness coach. And so basically, back in 2003, I decided to leave a corporate job as an assistant vice president to follow my passion of wellness. Is something that I've been into from a child. I don't know where it came from. Like no one in my family was like really into wellness like that. But for some reason it was just in me. Like at 6 or 7, I would just exercise on my own with a TV show. So I never really thought I could make a career out of wellness. But after being at the bank, I just knew that this was not really fulfilling me. And I couldn't see myself just having a job that was just a check, even though it was a good check. And so I just said, you know what? I'm going to go for something that I'm really interested in and that I'm really passionate about. And so in 2003, I became a personal trainer and I started doing fitness training. Then I became a nutritionist. And so now, with all the years that I worked with clients in the gym, I was able to create my own system, which is called Body Love. And basically, I help people to transform their health, to transform their body, to transform their confidence with the least amount of effort as possible. And so that is, I'm going to be giving a snippet of my method at the expo on Sunday so people can get a taste of it. Doesn't really have to be hard to make these changes in your body if you're working on the right things in the right order. So that's something that I'm going to help people to, figure out the puzzle. Because sometimes it's
Mm,
a puzzle. You're doing all the right things on paper, but you're not seeing the transformation in your health or in your body, or you're not seeing it as quickly as you would like, or that it's not as consistent. So
mhm.
that's what I do, and that's what I'm excited to be doing at the expo.
I love that. I love that. That's super exciting because, I think of the guy that says, "Oh, I've got the shoe that fits everybody." And I usually tell people, stay away from that guy because not every shoe fits everybody. They're just trying to sell you something, It should be tailor made, that shoe. It should be. So I see that that's what you're doing, correct?
Yeah, and I'm so glad you brought up that analogy because I have a client now who she works from home and she was using an ergonomic chair for her home office. And something about the chair was actually triggering her lower back to go into sciatica. And
Mm.
so she was able to connect the dots that, something is off with the chair. And here it is, this chair is supposed to be ergonomic,
Mhm,
supposed to
mhm,
be, more comfortable and allow you to, have better posture while you're working, but it wasn't working for her. And so that's a common example of something that's created as like a one size fits all,
mhm,
but
mhm, mhm,
it really isn't a one size fits all. And
mhm,
so yeah, so it's good to have somebody that can assess your body, assess your unique needs, assess
mhm,
where you're at and what you
mhm,
need, and
mhm.
give you that personalized guidance and support
Right.
that will actually have you feeling better.
Right. Well, first of all, I like to say that you passed the eyeball test. You know that, right? you you know what I'm saying? Like you look the part. That's one thing. Compliment to you, sister, with all respect. But also tell me about the nutrition part that you're learning, that you've learned about, and what is it that you offer there?
Oh, well, the nutrition part is huge because, no matter what you're doing in the gym or with your exercise or, any kind of movement practice, the nutrition needs to be in alignment. Or even if you are trying to resolve a health, maybe you got an abnormal blood work result and you want to try and fix that with your diet as opposed to taking a prescription that has toxic side effects. You know, that's where the nutrition comes in. So it's like food is your medicine. How can you eat in a way where it's supporting your health, is balanced so you're getting all the different nutrients that you need? Like some people think fat is the enemy. I need to avoid fat. But we need
Mhm.
some fat in our diet. It's just a matter of healthy fats versus unhealthy fats and then moderation. So, so whether you want to, reverse an abnormal blood result or you want to eat enough protein so that you can build muscle, so you can actually build a muscle from your workouts or maintain strength or keep your bones strong, nutrition comes into play. But also, I have this approach that food is also pleasure. So it's
Mhm.
not just that 100% of the time we have to be eating, you know
Right.
100% healthy. I
Grass all.
mean, yeah, so I'm a foodie, but I also eat healthy. And I'm also very mindful about how I eat. But I don't deny myself something that I want to eat, if it's going to give me pleasure. So it's like finding that balance. So when I work with clients, we definitely work that into the mix of you don't have to, give up what you love to eat, you
Mhm.
know,
Mhm.
but it's just
Mhm.
finding that balance,
Mhm.
finding that sweet spot
Mhm.
where
Mhm.
you're getting what you need and you're
Mhm.
also allowing, those
Mhm.
indulgences. So when it
You
comes down to it, it's all about balance.
That's great. I usually tell people I'm a flexitarian, right?
Hmm.
Because
Yeah.
I eat what I want.
Yeah.
If I want to have a steak, well, I want to have it like grass fed, grass finished and stuff like
Hmm.
that. Which I don't normally
Hmm.
eat meat like that, and I stay away from chicken. I eat fish, and it's tricky these days, right? Because as you can see, like they're putting things into the food system that you don't even know.
I
I mean, I
know.
just learned the other day, sister, about cashews that they create cashews not grown, like they're fake. Oh, it was just like crazy monster food. But
I know.
usually my food, sister, is usually plant based. It's usually plant based.
Hmm.
I feel more
Hmm.
light. I feel more energetic. I feel more spiritual
Hmm.
and connected. As opposed to when I'm eating meat, because meat, it tends to make me more like aggressive and like, and so if I'm training hard, or if I have a big race that's coming up, like I might start doing like the week or two before I start eating like beef, in my meals,
Hmm. Hmm.
But it's
Yeah,
it's
and
a
that's
tricky thing.
yeah.
It's tricky. People don't know. They just don't know. So.
Yeah, it's tricky. And I like what you said about, you have a race coming up and you're gonna make the adjustments. And so
Mhm,
that's really what it's about. It's about having a diet that is giving you what you need at any particular point. And it's not
mhm,
always the same, you know?
mhm,
It's not always
mhm,
the same what you might need when you're preparing for a race versus when you're
mhm.
in between
Right.
versus, if you, got sick, you got a cold, like
Mhm,
it's just
mhm,
about
mhm.
tailoring it to where you are at the moment.
Right.
And so being flexible is a big part of that.
Yeah, it's I seen a documentary that they showed the strongest man in the world, and he was a vegan. He was vegan.
Mm.
He was eating beef for nothing. I was like, what? Wow. Now I know. I don't
Right,
have to. I don't have to. I
right.
could if I want to,
Yeah,
But it seems like you're
right.
you're gearing people more towards a lifestyle.
Yes, it's really about your lifestyle and it's about having the options, like knowing what's available, knowing how it could look, knowing how your wellness routine how your diet, how it could look to still get you to the same place and to even get you there quicker and in a more easeful way than maybe you have been used to, you
Right.
know. So no diet.
Definitely.
You don't have to go on a diet. You don't have to
Right.
like restrict yourself if that's not what you want to do. You
Right.
know, like if
Yeah.
you don't have, yeah, if you don't have to. But yes,
I,
I like to
I,
give people options. Yeah.
I remember my wife told me one time that she learned that the word die is in the word diet is die. Like so it really has a
Mm,
negative connotation to it, you know. So it should be that lifestyle
yeah,
be like that, let's uplift
exactly.
and stuff like that, you know.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
But
Yeah. A lot
I
of us
noticed.
didn't grow up with the information. We just didn't know. Okay.
So yes, I learned that the pyramid, the food pyramid is upside down, where they were saying like stay away from those fats, and you mentioned that earlier. Like me, I eat a
Hmm.
whole avocado now. Before they were like, "Oh
Yes.
no, stay away from the avocado." I was like, "What? Get out of here!"
I know. I know. That's the thing. It's like the guidance that you'll hear on the news, like it keeps changing. Like
Hmm.
what they said
Hmm.
was bad, now it's not
Hmm.
bad. So it can really
Yeah,
confuse people. And
yeah,
and then,
and
yeah.
that's where you come in. To educate people. We need
Yes.
that. We need it.
Yes.
Someone you trust. Because how could you trust somebody you meet online and they have like 50 million customers? Like there's no attention, there's no care.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, you have some of the reports that come out, they're actually funded by the
Mm-hmm.
food industry. So they're inclined to say, oh, it's good to eat this or it's good to have this because they're getting
Hmm.
money from them.
Yep.
So it really
Do you?
takes doing your own
Mhm.
research, being discerning, and to kind of figure out what does your body actually need.
Hmm. But that's a great point,
Yeah.
Leah. Tell me about you, right? Because we're made up of our habits, right? When you wake up in the
Hmm.
morning, I have my routine. I try my best to be consistent and continue. Why? Because it serves me well. And sometimes I don't want to do it. I don't like it, but I do it. Why? Because I know it serves me well. You see? So why don't you tell me, the day in the life of Leah, when you rise, what is it that you do and consume and those type of things?
Okay. So, like you said, it's a lifestyle. And so the four pillars of my body love system has to do with at the top is getting adequate sleep, getting restorative sleep, then it's stress management, then it's proper diet, and then it's the right movement. And so I live by that as well because having a good night's sleep where you sleep, for at least 7 hours straight,
Mhm,
that sets yourself up for success in so many ways. So I prioritize that. I'm in bed, I would say by
mhm,
10,
mhm,
and
mhm,
I wake up, 6, 7, depending on what's going on. So I really
mhm,
prioritize that sleep. So prior to that, I would say by like 8 or 9, I'm winding things down. So the phones, the screens,
mhm,
I'm kind of like winding all that down. And I'm also intentional about not getting too agitated late at night because if you go to bed a little bit agitated, you might find that your mind is not still and relaxed, and that can keep you up at night. So, practices or just ways of being to wind down, so to set myself up for that restorative sleep. And then when I wake up in the morning, I'm a side sleeper. So I'm kind of curled up in a little ball. So when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is open myself back up with very
mhm,
gentle restorative stretches where I'm not actually like physically holding the stretch, but I put my body in positions where gravity and just the position itself is stretching me. And so I do this to open up my chest, to open up my hips, and then I have breakfast. And I have a
mhm,
big breakfast. Some people
mhm,
skip breakfast, but
mhm.
I don't recommend that. I have
Okay.
a big breakfast like oatmeal, eggs, turkey bacon. Like it varies. It's not always the same. But I
Mhm,
start with a big breakfast. I start with water. and apple cider vinegar. So I drink that even before I have breakfast. And then throughout the day, I would say I eat approximately every 3 hours. And, my meals are pretty robust. So I make sure there's carbs, protein, and fat throughout the day. And I usually get in a workout. I don't always work out every day, but days I don't work out, I walk. So sometimes, like, instead of driving to run an errand, I'll walk. Like, people think I'm crazy. Like, why are you walking 30, 40 minutes when you could
Right.
drive? Because, you know,
Mhm. Right, because the
it's just,
machine.
it's,
Yeah, I'm taking care of the machine. Yeah.
yeah. And also
Mhm.
I love walking. So it's
Mhm.
like I'm killing two birds with one stone. So
Mhm.
even if I can't get in a actual workout, I make sure that I just add more activity into my day. So
Mhm.
there's always a way. There's always a way to move your body. There's always
Mhm.
a way to, burn some calories, use your muscles, even if you can't get in a official workout.
Mhm.
So I help people with that, try to figure
Mhm.
out how they can do that. And
Mhm.
so, but usually most days I do a workout, 30 minutes. Like I'm actually a part of the 30 minutes crew. Like I've
Okay.
never really liked long workouts. I
Mhm.
like 30 minutes
Mhm.
where I'm boom, boom, boom. Like I've
Right.
seen people do longer workouts and they take breaks, after
Mhm.
a set, like if it's strength
Mhm.
training. So I
Right.
don't take
Mhm.
breaks. I go 30 minutes straight, which
Mhm.
keeps my heart rate up. So it's also
Mhm.
cardio and it's strength training. So there's
Mhm.
ways that if you don't have a lot of time, because that's something that people will say, oh, I don't have time to work out. There's
Mhm.
ways you could work into your day, or if you do a 20-minute, 30-minute workout, there's
Mhm.
ways where you can get the most out of it for,
Mhm.
for your
Mhm.
level where you're at.
Right.
You don't have to
Right.
kill yourself, but just, enough of a effort for you
Mhm.
for
Mhm.
where you are, your health, where your body is, what you're able to do. So I'm the queen of 30-minute workouts,
Right.
which, a lot of people, you could find 30 minutes. Like, I don't
Right.
know who
Right.
could, you could find
Yeah.
30 minutes.
You can find 30 minutes. It,
Um,
it goes by right away. It sure does. Mhm.
yes. And then I try to eat my dinner between, I'm done eating by 7 p.m.
Mhm.
because I want to be in bed by 10. So I want to give my food that time to digest. Unless it's the weekend and I'm out. But like talking about this like work
Mhm.
week,
Right.
you know,
Routine, habit.
7 by 7. Yes, so these are the habits that I have. And then as far as so that's like the logistics as far as the sleep, the nutrition, the movement. But then there's the other piece, which is your way of being.
Mm.
And so people don't really realize that the way that they are normally being throughout the day can get them stressed out, where they may not even know that they're stressed out, but the higher stress level can undermine their wellness goals. And so, what I mean by way of being is so, for example, if a person is kind of like running themselves down, running themselves ragged, where they have one thing to do after another, and they're always in a rush. And it's almost like they're always giving, giving, giving to others. And maybe like for themselves, they don't even have time to eat lunch. And that is like a stressful way of being for the average person. And so the stress hormones go up. And when the stress hormones go up, a lot of things happen that are undesirable for someone who's on a wellness path, as far as storing body fat. Like it throws off all your other hormones. So even if you're doing everything right with your wellness routine, this higher stress level that is going on is disrupting sleep. It's creating fat storage. It might
Mhm.
even be contributing to high blood pressure,
Mhm.
high blood sugar. Like stress affects so many different like
Yep. Mhm.
systems in our body. It throws everything off. So that's something that I will examine with a client. And I have a fun little quiz on my website that identifies what is the kind of stressful way of being that is in the way of your wellness goals. And so
Mm,
once you can see it, a lot of people can't see it because if you're so used to like living a certain way, it becomes your normal. And you don't realize that you're kind of burning the candle at both ends because it's
mhm,
just
mhm,
become like your normal. So
mhm,
I help them to kind of see what is going on behind the scenes that's affecting like their underlying inner state
mhm,
that is basically undermining their wellness goals. So that's actually how I'm able to help people reach their wellness goals quicker because when that underlying inner state is more balanced and more in harmony and more relaxed most of the time,
mhm.
then the actual things that they're doing, the exercise, the nutrition, the, it just it
Right,
amplifies it
right,
with,
right, right.
without doing more. You're actually doing less,
Mhm, mhm. Right,
So
right.
it's a
Thank you.
lifestyle, like you said.
Yep. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. And I love the fact that you said about that stress, that lifestyle too, because I was learning recently, like something like 98% of sicknesses, they come from stress. And I had a teacher, a master, tell me one time, if I gave you a jar and tell you to go fill it up with stress, you'd come back with the jar empty, right? Because stress
Mhm.
doesn't exist. We're creating that
Mhm.
in our mind. It's just that lifestyle, like you said, the way of being. We're taking on all of these things and then how it affects us. And we'd be like, oh, this is just my life. But yeah, but you could make some adjustments here, for a healthy lifestyle. And as time goes by, you'll see that you be treating your body better and your mind and your longevity, and you be living a more happy and fulfilled life too. You know?
Mhm. And you'll feel better. Like I like what you said about the jar because the thing about stress is you can't see it. Like
Right,
it's not something tangible. It's an
right.
inner state. You can't see it, but you can feel it. But
Mhm,
you might
mhm,
be so used to feeling that way. Like
mhm,
a lot of times people hold stress in their body. So you
mhm,
might have a tight neck, tight shoulders, tight
mhm,
belly, but you're so used
mhm,
to it being tight that
mhm.
you don't know that it doesn't have to be that way. That your
Right.
body is just kind of wound up.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
I always think about the fish when you ask them about the water. The fish says, "What water?" Right? What are you talking
Yeah.
about? Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
like you've been in the
Yeah.
water so long, you don't even know. Like that's what it
Yeah.
is, man. You're holding it right there. You're holding it over here. You're holding it in your back. Something like that.
Yeah. It's
The
so
body
funny. I
keeps the
used to work.
score.
Yes. Like
Mhm.
I used to work with this client and he had been complaining to me about his neck, that he was, his neck was always tight and I don't even know how we even discovered what the issue was, but somehow we realized it was winter at the time. And we
Mhm.
realized that maybe he like wasn't wearing a scarf and when he would be cold, he would do this for some reason. He
Mm.
would just like his shoulders would be up. I don't even know how. Somehow in conversation we realized he was doing that, and
Mm.
so once he became aware that that was his like reflex
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
stopped doing that, the
Mhm.
neck tension went away.
Wow. Wow.
So it's
Amazing.
sometimes it's just something you're doing on autopilot. You don't
Right.
even know you're doing it.
Right, right. That's amazing. And I love it that you're bringing this to the expo and sharing with the community and helping. It's much needed. Thank you for being a part
Mhm.
of, all this whole thing. And, I'm also very, very deeply happy that me and you are helping to change the face of holistic healing, right? Because when you
Yes.
normally look at it, you see like, there's not too much melanin in the conversation here. And as if it's not for us, as if we don't know about it, as we can't teach people and those type of things.
Mhm.
It is what it is,
Mhm.
but we're contributing our part to change the face of this, you
Yeah.
know, paradigm.
Yeah. Yes. And I'm super excited about the expo because since the
Mhm.
pandemic, when the gyms closed, my
Mhm.
business was totally online. And it is still mostly online. I mostly work with clients virtually, but I'm really excited to be in an in-person event
Mhm,
and meet
mhm.
people in person and be able to do hands-on assessments
Yep.
and talk to the
Mhm.
people, so
Yeah,
I'm really
it's
excited
exciting.
about
It's
that,
exciting.
you
It's
know.
exciting. Yes.
Yeah.
There's going to be so many people there, and people so open to these things, because it's not a
Yes.
different expo where it's all about like sneakers or clothes. It's
Right.
it's about wellness, man.
Yes.
I seen
Yes.
a sister doing candles, and then there's Reiki, and a massage guy, and then I'm bringing the ice and breath and
And I saw something
uh,
about a sauna. Like,
yep,
I love
yep,
it. So the ice,
yeah.
and then we got the heat.
Mhm.
I
Right.
love it.
Yes, right. We
I
bring the
love it.
fire and bring the
Yes.
ice too.
Fire and ice.
That's right. That's right. So thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Leah, if people want to connect with you and see where you're at, I know you spoke about the website. Can you tell us what's the name of it?
Yeah. So my website is leahmorewellness.com. And when you go on the website, you'll see where you can take the quiz, the Body Love Blocker quiz. And that will let you know what is the main inner block that is preventing you from loving how your body looks, feels, or
Mm,
functions. Like what's going on behind the scenes right now that,
mm, mm,
is undermining all the healthy efforts that you're doing. So that's a
mm,
free quiz. It's 7 questions. It's super quick. It's fun. So you can
mm,
take that. And then I'll be at the expo, like I said. And
mm,
then on the
mm,
15th, I'm actually hosting a master class. And it's for people who their workouts are on point, but they're not seeing the results that they want. So in
mm,
this master class, I'm going to show you how you can get more defined, get more
mm,
firm with less effort
mm, mm.
in 90 days.
Wow.
So that's something that if you go to my website, leahmorewellness.com, you'll be able to find out about that. It's
Amazing. I
right on the
love that.
homepage, the
And I love
workshop.
the quiz thing. I love it. I love it. You say, easy, quick, and fun. I'm in. I'm there,
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
7 questions, multiple
Yeah.
choice.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
so much. So I'll see you on
yeah.
Sunday. The doors open
Mhm.
at 12 p.m., right? It's at the Restoration Plaza. I remember that one right off the back. I even know the address. The address is 1368 Fulton Street. There's plenty of parking. It's a free expo. They're giving a gift bag to the first 100 people that show up. This is incredible. Yeah, this is from
Get there early.
yep, this is from Nicholas Brooklyn, which is with Monique. Monique is the owner of Nicholas Brooklyn, which is a pillar to the community and to wellness on a whole. So we're
Hmm.
super
Yeah,
excited, man.
yeah. I
Yay.
cannot wait.
I know. We're
Thank you so
excited.
much for
Okay.
having me.
Of course, of course, of course. And we're gonna check back with you. So I'm gonna put you backstage for a minute and close this up, okay?
All right. Bye bye.
Okay, stay right there. There you have it, guys. Wow, that was another one we have in the books right there. It's all about this Sunday, February the 9th. And it's the purely holistic soul expo. That's what it is. It's right there on the ticker. We'll see you there on Sunday, family. Peace.